Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Ringside Rundown podcast. My name is Erik Vasquez, and joining me on the line is my podcasting partner in crime. Oh, excuse me. Yes, that rhymes. She comes straight from the Berg. She is none other than Shay Hickson. Shay, what's going on, my friend?
Yeah, what is going on? Well, I've been playing the new Oblivion remaster yesterday. I just started it.
I saw that.
Pretty fun so far. I mean, when you kind of go backwards and you start off with Skyrim, that was my first Elder Scrolls game, and then you play Oblivion, you kind of have to unlearn a lot of things, so it's gonna take some getting used to, but I'm enjoying it so far. I haven't really gotten too far into it yet, but
You haven't
once I
gotten
do...
sucked in yet.
No, but I know I literally just got like the first mission or two done, so I have a feeling the next thing I do, all hell's gonna break loose in the game. But yeah, once it does, I probably won't be playing another game for the next 6 months because I
Sounds
tend
good.
to do that
Sounds good. I
with
like
games.
that. I like that. That's cool. Unfortunately, guys, this isn't a video game podcast. However, this is a pro wrestling podcast where Shay and I discuss the happenings of everything that is going on in the world of professional wrestling, whether it's WWE, AEW, or anything of the like. This week, however, we are going to be talking about SummerSlam that happened this past Saturday and Sunday. It was an epic weekend. Some say even more epic than WrestleMania. I don't know. But this was a pretty big weekend with a lot of matches. So we got a lot of matches to go through and a lot of match ratings to give out for each one of those matches. Overall, before we get into it, what'd you think of SummerSlam overall?
I thought it was pretty good. I think I would be a little more inclined to agree with the crowd saying that this is probably better than WrestleMania. I know the main event of night 2 is sure as hell better than the main event we got at WrestleMania, that's for sure. But yeah, everything was, for the most part, pretty solid. There were a couple matches where it was average at best, or maybe not so much on paper that shouldn't have been on the card. It was one of those, after you saw it, you're like, that probably shouldn't have been on there, but those are very few and far in between. Everything else was pretty solid. There were definitely some great matches over both nights. Some not so great things that unfortunately we still have to talk about, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, overall I was not really disappointed.
Nah, you shouldn't be, because due to a tie in the predictions, you get to hold on to the predictions championship. Due to
I pulled off another heist.
I tell you, this is just getting too much. I think there's some collusion. I think the board of directors might be in on this. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, but I'm not gonna lie, that you had me in the first half. Not gonna lie, because
I had you nervous.
That Tiffany and Jade match, I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, this is not what I wanted to start off with, and I was just sitting there at that ladder match on the edge of my seat. Not even so much for the actual match itself, which that was an absolute fucking car wreck, which we'll get into later, but Wyatt Six pulled through for me, so get to live to fight another day.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna talk about it. Let's get into the action, as they say, with the matches. Starting off with the very first match opening the entire show. This was crazy. Kind of an interesting pick to have open the entire show. Talking about Roman Reigns and Jey Uso taking on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in a tag team match. This was a lot of fun and a solid opener with a lot of interesting spots.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like that was kind of all this match really was just spots. Not that I'm saying it was a bad match. It was a really good match. It was a great opener to the show. But yeah, it felt like there was just, trying to find the right word. It almost seemed a little too...
choreographed?
Yeah, rehearsed, I guess, where it was just like, okay, you can clearly see where they're going here. Okay, now they're going to the next one. Now they're going to It's like, guys, come on, loosen up a little bit, because it looks a little too staged, a little too, like, stiff. Yeah, but the spots they hit were great. I'm still trying to figure out, because going back and watching it again, I still don't entirely know where Braun messed his knee up. It might have been when he ran himself into the table, possibly, but
Either that or on that monster dive where he like overshot both Braun and Bronson Reed. Like he went over the top rope and he like barely caught them with anything because he went over too much. I guess the adrenaline was too in his soul.
I guess, but yeah, I mean, Braun's a tough guy, so I mean, the adrenaline's a hell of a thing, so maybe he just was very good at hiding it, but yeah, the Roman dive too, I'm like, thank God they threw him, like, they flipped him in midair, because if not, then that would have been a nightmare, because he definitely overshot that, fully should have landed flat on his face.
Yeah.
Thank God there were at least some hands up there to help him, but yeah, like I said, it wasn't fantastic. It was a great start, but it wasn't like, oh my God, this is the best opener of all SummerSlams. No, it was serviceable, still felt a little too rehearsed for my taste, but I still gave it 3.5 flames just for the energy they got the crowd going with at the beginning.
Yeah, I also gave it 3.5 flames for this one.
Of course.
Yeah, of course we have to be on the same page. We both also had Roman and Jay winning this match. I know a couple people were surprised at Roman and Jay winning, but I figured they were gonna get the win.
Yeah, I did too. It'd be kind of silly to have both of them lose, especially with the way they've been tormented by these two for a little while now, so they had to get some measure of payback, so wasn't really a surprise.
For sure, but a solid opener nonetheless. Really, really solid work from Roman and Jay against Braun and Bronson, Braun, as I like to call them. This one went 21 minutes and 10 seconds, and it's seemingly not over. As we saw this past Monday, the beef between Roman and Roman and Braun and Bronson stole his sneakers again. So this has become a thing where, like, pretty soon Roman Reigns is gonna run out of sneakers to wear. You know,
he's got to wear flip-flops.
Yeah, like somebody said, he's gonna have to start wearing Crocs. Like, you
know, God, we'll bust out the athletic slides.
Yeah,
if you know, you know.
I don't know, unless Bronson has a thing for those. You know,
maybe
he just, I guess he just likes to leave the tribal chief without any shoes. But this thing is going to keep going now. It's escalated with Roman Reigns, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and subsequently Seth Rollins, since he's a part of the whole situation. We'll explain all that later. But it's just interesting how they're able to, like, continue on everything that is still going on between Roman Reigns and keep him in there. Although it did look like maybe last night he could have been written off TV with the 3 tsunami splashes that he took from Bronson Reed.
Yeah, and then apparently his next, as far as I saw anyway, advertised appearance isn't until November.
Jesus.
So, sure, let's just do that again, because that totally is not going to get old or hasn't already been old, but
yeah, it's starting to get old. I'm not going to lie, it's starting to get old.
Yeah, because it's just like,
I mean, but the thing is, like, when he comes back, like, he always has those monster reactions.
Yeah, but at some point, and well, then again, we were proven wrong the night after, but it was just like, you think you'd get old, that shit would get old, because it's just like, okay, good, he's back, but what's the point of getting invested, because he's just going to leave again and for another 4 months at a time, but what do I know? I'm just a wrestling fan, apparently. Yep.
Well, there it is. Once again, we both give this match 3.5 flames out of 5 for Roman Reigns and Jey Uso defeating Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the match. Moving on, it is a match for the Women's Tag Team Championships, where the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, defended the titles against makeshift tag team Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I thought this one was really good as well. I had fun watching this one. I was especially surprised at how great Charlotte looked in the match. She looked fantastic in the match, hitting all her moves with crispness and everything just looked great. Raquel is becoming a powerhouse in her own right. She's finally, it's all clicking for her. Roxanne is excelling on the main roster, and Alexa Bliss is Alexa Bliss. So I think this match was a perfect tag team match. These belts, though, I gotta say, these belts are to me, they're cursed. I don't know. I feel I'm a little worried with Charlotte and Alexa holding on to them because I feel something bad's gonna happen. I hope not, but I just have that feeling with these tag team belts. They must be cursed. But again, my favorite spot was the ending spot where Charlotte kind of rose up and it looked like she might attack Alexa Bliss, and everybody was like, uh-oh, and then she gave that big boot and allowed Alexa to get the cover, to get the win, and win the tag team titles. What'd you think of the match?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I think it was a little bit better than the opener, just in terms of cohesiveness and not as being staged. I mean, that I of course we're on the same page here because my favorite part was obviously the ending too, because you kind of just got that, oh god, this is how it's gonna end, isn't it? And they faked us out. They got us. I'll admit it. But yeah, everyone got their time to shine. Good for Charlotte for finally getting these big reactions, because clearly the recipe for success was she just put her in a team with Alexa Bliss, and that's how it worked, I guess. But yeah, it was fun, a little fast paced, which I mean I wasn't complaining at all. I think the thing that you touched on, and I think the announce team also might have touched on it too, was it's funny what happens when Charlotte's having fun. And you can tell Charlotte's having fun now because she actually doesn't come into work pissed off, or not even just pissed off, because I think we even talked about it maybe last week or a few weeks ago. I couldn't imagine going into work every single day, constantly just being told how much you suck and how much I hate you and you're terrible, and probably most likely death threats, because wrestling fans have no sense of, chill or anything. But yeah, I could imagine that would take a toll on somebody year after year after year, like it did with hers. So to finally see her just relax and do the things she loves to do and have people, for the most part, not up her ass the whole time, just being dicks, good for her. And a little surprised they won, though, because you and I were for sure thinking it was going to be Judgment Day retaining those titles just for the sake of story, but clearly that is not the case at all. Am I mad about it? No. I knew they were going to have that moment. I just didn't expect it to happen so soon. But yeah, good for Charlotte and Alexa. It's just that sad thing of you're just kind of sitting there waiting for something bad to happen because you just know it is, and you're like, okay, well, what's gonna happen? Nothing bad's gonna happen, right, guys? Like, right? Like they're gonna be friends forever, even though Charlotte will never admit that they're friends, which they totally are friends. She just doesn't want to be vulnerable in front of a live crowd. But yeah, I thought it was a really fun match. Okay, even though I said it was better than the tag match, I'm still going to give it 3.5 flames. Because, yeah, it was just like, I enjoyed it. It was very paced out well, thought out well. All 4 of them had their own moments. Didn't really feel as staged as the first one. So, yeah, I'll give it 3.5 flames.
Yeah, and I think, to your point, too, I think for Charlotte, this is a time where she can get her work in without having to worry about trying to be on top. She was always on top because she's got countless amount of title reigns, and the title's always been around her waist, and she's always been involved in the main event picture, which can be quite, it takes a lot to be in that position, so it's nice that she could do something different where there's not a lot of pressure on her to perform and to excel and to do well and to be that main event catalyst for a division that's kind of always having to fight to prove itself, and especially those are the women that are on top are constantly fighting to prove how valuable the division is. And finally, Charlotte doesn't really have to worry about it. She just has to worry about getting this tag team over with Alexa Bliss, and so far it's working.
Oh yeah, I mean, just think of the promo they had on Raw last night when they're actually chanting for Charlotte, you deserve it, and she's like, wow, I think this is the first you deserve a chant I've ever gotten in my career, which is sad, but yeah, rightfully earned.
Yeah. And you had said you had gave this 3.5 flames, correct?
Yes.
I too give this 3.5 flames out of 5 for Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair defeating Raquel and Roxanne to become the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Congratulations to them. I'm really interested in seeing where they're gonna go with the titles. What's next for them? Is it gonna be a fresh feud, or are they gonna just go back into feuding with the Judgment Day? It's gonna be interesting to see which way they go.
Yeah, and I hope nothing bad happens ever. And they just stay a team for a little while longer, because yeah, nothing totally bad's gonna happen, I promise.
I hope not. I hope not. Again, those tag team titles, oof, it gets a little dicey with them. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
The curves. They need Sage. They need Sage or something. That might work.
Something. But moving on to a match that probably needed some Sage. I am talking about Karrion Kross taking on Sami Zayn. Now, this match wasn't particularly long. Felt like it got the rug kind of pulled out from under it, like they couldn't really get going. This is just my summation of it. It wasn't a bad match, but it didn't feel right on the PLE. It didn't live up to the PLE moniker. It didn't have that. I needed a little bit more drama from it. That's the thing I'm not getting from the Karrion Kross matches, that I need a little bit more of. I need a little bit more of the drama, a little bit more of the fighting from underneath, the desperation, the back and forth. It kind of feels like this is more slow, methodically placed, and I can't gauge the fans. Like the live fans want Kross and they cheer for Kross. Fans online says they kind of fallen out of favor with him. I don't know which way to go. I'm trying to find some enjoyment in Kross, and we don't even know if Kross is going to be continuing with the WWE. His and Scarlett's contracts were up this weekend, and as far as I know, I haven't read anything saying they signed a new deal or anything like that. So I don't know what's going on with that situation. However, the match wasn't all that bad. It wasn't all that bad. It was just, like I said, it could have used a little bit more sizzle on it. It could have used a little bit more sizzle. I ended up giving this one 3.25 flames out of 5.
I also gave it 3.25 flames.
Wow.
No surprise, but well, first off, I'm glad that the crowd at least gave Karrion and Scarlett a reaction, because he hasn't really been on like a super big stage like that. I mean, Night of Champions, sure, but hasn't been on a pay-per-view like that since WrestleMania 40 last year. So it's I feel like they didn't really do a lot to make this match any different than their match at Night of Champions. It just didn't, or any of the last two that they've had for that matter. It just kind of seemed like more of the same, which I didn't really like, because I feel like it's almost as if they kind of just looked at the fans and were like, well, we got them on the card, but what do you want? It's like, well, a little effort would have been nice, because I feel like they just didn't put a lot of effort into, I'm not saying Sami and Karrion, I'm saying like creative or just whoever the powers that be. It just seemed like they were kind of like, well, I don't know what more you want, guys. You got what you asked for. He's on the card.
Right.
And I feel like they could have put a little more effort, and clearly they didn't. And it was almost, I mean, clearly if him and Scarlett don't have contracts anymore, or they come up either this past weekend or this weekend coming up, it's almost just like, well, what's the point? Because they're not coming back. And it's like, well, you guys aren't letting them come back. Apparently they didn't give them supposedly new contracts or didn't offer them anything. So
I find that very strange that they wouldn't have at least offered them something, even if it was the same exact deal that they had before. Offer them something. So I don't know if I necessarily buy the idea that they haven't been approached for a new deal or anything. They probably haven't sat down and hammered anything out, but the idea that they haven't been offered anything, approached at all, zero, that's kind of strange to me.
Me too. It's just, I don't know. I mean, obviously we're never going to know because we're not in the conference room when the stuff's happening, but it's just like, seriously, guys, you can't give him something, anything. And if that's Karrion's last match in WWE, then that's a damn shame because he deserved a lot better than that. Because I feel like, is he, and it's not like he's this explosive, high energy wrestler. We've talked about him many times before. It's like, he's that slow, methodical, pick you apart kind of guy, but I feel like with these matches, they haven't given him enough time to actually showcase that. It's always just kind of like what you mentioned earlier, right when you thought that, okay, it's finally going to pick up, it's over already. Like, they don't give them enough time to actually, like, tell a full-on story. It's just more or less like okay, well, let's just get this over with so we can move on to something else. At least that's how it seems like to me, but it's a shame because that match could have been way longer and they could have done a lot more with it and clearly just chose not to, which is a little mind-boggling to me, but it is what it is.
Yes, and once again, we both gave this match 3.25 flames out of 5. Again, hopefully there's a situation where Karrion and Scarlett are still with the WWE and Sami Zayn can move on with his quest to be a world champion. It didn't feel like the blocks got out of the garage. The car didn't get out of the garage with this one.
Yeah.
It just kind of fell flat when it got off the rigs. But you know what? It happens. Tough day at work. Now, this next match, I am interested to talk about because it equally got less time. It got less time than the Sami Zayn Karrion Kross match. That match was 8 minutes and 10 seconds. This next match, Tiffany Stratton defending the WWE Women's Championship against Jade Cargill, got 7 minutes and 5 seconds. What was that about?
This was one of those matches, and obviously the one before it, where I mentioned earlier in the show, where it's just like, in hindsight, why'd you even have this on the card then? Because if you would have left this off, yeah, people would have probably complained that you don't have your champion on the card, but it's just like, was that really worth it? Because it was just, it was, okay, I'm not going to say it was terrible, like some people were spouting off on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't think it was terrible. I just think it was extremely short.
Was it good?
It was
all right.
It was serviceable.
It was average, which is unfortunately not so great when you want to talk about a pay-per-view match being average, but it's just people shouldn't really have been surprised that that's what we got because, like we talked about in the predictions episode, you have Tiffany who, yeah, she's good in the ring, but you're going to essentially have to make her be like the ring general of the match because you have the less experienced or inexperienced Jade Cargill, and you're not going to have her in charge of a match. And this match, as I'm watching it, I'm just like, I'm going to lose this prediction. I know I'm going to, and it kind of exposed her a little bit, where it's like, yeah, maybe that's, there's a reason why she didn't win that match. Because, of course, I know a lot of people were like, oh, this would have been the perfect opportunity to give her the title. And I mean, hell, I thought so. Because what the hell else would you have been doing? But the problem is, you were giving her all these opportunities, and she's still not really wowing anybody. I mean, she's had some flashes here and there, but mainly in tag titles, or in tag matches, not so much one-on-ones. So it's just, I don't know, she's still, I guess, way too inexperienced to put the title on. I mean, granted, that's her biggest issue. It's like, she's got the look, she's got the charisma, but then that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and I'm wondering now if that's by design, because the match at Night of Champions with Asuka was equally as short. So this is two matches back to back where you're like, huh.
And clunky too, because again, it's just these like, I don't know, it's just every time something happens, and it just always seems like when it comes to Jade's matches, number one, for sure, they're short as shit. Two, it always just seems off. Like, there's always something, and I can never really, like, just put my finger on it. It's always too short. It's always just clunky in some ways, and unfortunately, that just seems to be the recurring theme, and it doesn't really seem like it's getting any better, so I'm not upset. I mean, at the time I was upset I didn't get the prediction right, just for my own pride, but Yeah, but then when you see that match and watch it back, it's like that probably was for the best. But
Yeah.
it's also just like, okay, well now what the hell are you gonna do? But I don't know. I feel like it was kind of in a way a bit of a lose-lose because I've said before Tiffany's reign, while it's not terrible, it's also just kind of been like, yeah, it's there. It's not breaking any ground, but it's also not the worst title reign of all time either. It's just kind of in the middle, which is not the greatest. But then on the other side, you could have put the belt on a completely inexperienced person who could not help but like after a while just get exposed match after match because you put that title on her, she has an immediate target on her back. Everybody who's anybody on that in that division in that locker room's going after her,
Mm.
and let's be completely honest here, they're gonna all run laps around her.
Mm-hmm.
And when she's supposed to be your champion, not a good look when the champion's getting outclassed in every single aspect of wrestling. So hindsight's 2020. It's maybe a good thing they left it off her, but yeah, it was just at that rate you should have just left that match off the fucking card period because it was almost just a waste of time.
Yes. Now I'm interested in your uh rating for the match. Because this was kind of, again, this is kind of one of those matches that kind of test which way your ratings go for, not for other matches, but technically
Yeah.
like how you rate matches. This is a great one to kind of test, you
Like
know.
your litmus test pretty much.
Yeah. This one was kind of tough for me because I didn't want to stay in the same range as I've been staying with these matches.
Yeah, need to. Well, I mean, because I think we both are kind of in agreement of how we grade matches. Is it's always baseline of a 3,
Right.
and then you kind of have to either really stink the place up to like drop it below a 3, or you at least have to do something above average to at least get it above a 3. So that's why I think with this one I just stayed at a 3 because again, it was there. It wasn't as terrible as everybody online was saying it was, but it just still was way too short for a title match on one of your biggest shows of the year.
Right.
And it was just when you boil it down, it's essentially two inexperienced people having a very important high pressure situation match. And did they rise to the occasion? No, I don't think they did,
Mm.
but kind of what you guys expected. You kind of knew what you signed up for when you were going to put these two together. So, yeah, I just gave it a 3 because I wasn't disgusted by it. I wasn't wowed by it. It was just like, oh, okay, well, that was really short. Anyway, what's the next match?
Yeah, you're gonna be totally surprised by this, but I gave it a 3.
Yeah,
Three,
of course.
3 out of 5 flames. Again, like you said, 3 is kind of the baseline, and to go below a 3, you have to really stink. This match
Yeah.
did not stink. It was just like, it was like, oh, that was actually a match that actually happened. You know,
Yeah.
like that's about it. That's as best as I could surmise it. I wish we could have gotten more. I'm starting to think this is by design for Jade Cargill matches because again, this is the second match in a row. The match with Night of Champions at Asuka, and Asuka, that was kind of short and kind of abruptly ended to it. Jade winning. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to cover up something.
I don't know,
Like
but
cover up a
it's just
negative.
maybe, but again, it's just she's gonna have to learn at some point, or if not, stop putting her in the title picture and stop putting her in these big important matches because it was almost just like what was the point of doing all of that then if you weren't gonna have her win in that moment? So I don't know, it's just like I guess she's a star in your eyes and she will be. She just has to put it together and so far she just hasn't.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Hopefully they can figure it out. I'm very interested in seeing what they're gonna do with Tiffany Stratton, who's gonna be Tiffany Stratton's next competitor, because we know on the flip side, it's gonna be Naomi and Stephanie Vicaire. That's already wrapped up and done. But with
Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton, it's kind of up in the air because they did put a lot of eggs in this Tiffany and Jade Cargill basket. So it's
Yeah.
interesting to see where they're going to go after that. But moving on, we have a tag team match This one went way longer than the match previously. This one went 17 minutes and 10 seconds. It was Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul taking on the team of Randy Orton and Grammy winning, Grammy nominated singer.
Yeah, at least nominated.
Grammy nominated singer Jelly Roll. Now that was the thing everybody was looking forward to in this match. How was the Jelly Roll gonna perform? To be honest with you, he did a couple spots,
Yeah.
but he didn't work at like a Bad Bunny level.
Oh God, no.
He didn't work at like a Bad Bunny tag team level. He did his spots. He hit them kind of perfectly. And then there was a spot where Logan Paul laid him out on the announcer's table and did a frog splash from inside of the ring to outside, crashing through the announcer's table, crashing through Jelly Roll. I particularly enjoyed that spot because there was a point where you're like, oh shit, is Jelly Roll really hurt? Like, he might be really hurt. He kind of looks in bad shape, and they're taking him away, and he does that thing where he looks back and he's like, no, I can't leave my partner. I must go. Yeah, it was like, I must go. And he's like crawling up the steps, and I'm like, hell yeah, Jelly Roll, this is wrestling. Literally. The dramatics were just so great in this match. It was a serviceable performance. I thought it was pretty neat to see him in there. I hope he got what he wanted out of it. And then I'm surprised Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul ended up picking the win. I thought they were going to go with the good guys with this one and definitely keep the crowd happy, but they ended up going with Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, which was very surprising.
Yeah, that definitely surprised me too. The match itself was all right. I mean, the thing that kind of surprised me was if you were just watching the match and had no like crowd sound at all and just watch the match as it was, you'd be like, okay, yeah, this is a basic wrestling match. It's good. It's like we always say serviceable. It's not fantastic, but it's also not terrible. And then you actually listen to the crowd and you would have thought that this was a 5-star instant classic, match of the year, whatever. And I'm like, guys, I get you're kind of buying into it and you're in the kind of in the middle of the emotions and all, but okay, guys, let's relax.
That's wrestling. That's what it does to you, it just, if you can.
I mean,
no,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you can choreograph it and you can do something big, it doesn't matter who the participants are. If the crowd is into just that little bit, you can kind of hook them, and I feel like that's what they did.
I guess. Well, I mean, that table spot sure did, because good God, good on Jelly Roll for agreeing to do that, because I could see quite a few people just coming into wrestling as a celebrity probably being like, you know what, maybe let's not do that, because I don't want to, lose all of my ribs and have them all get punctured into my lungs. But hey, I mean, I'm sure he was definitely feeling it the next day. He seemed in good spirits when they showed him in the crowd, so good for him. But yeah, I was very surprised that Drew and Logan won, but I don't know. I mean, maybe they just would use it as fuel to be assholes, which they don't really need much fuel to do that. But yeah, it was a decent match. Again, didn't really wow me. I mean, Jelly Roll's performance was serviceable. He definitely was not anywhere near Bad Bunny's level, but he also didn't make a fool out of himself in that match at all. So I don't know if I guess it was a little stingier, I guess, but I gave it 3 1/4 flames.
No, I gave it 3 1/4 flames as well. What the hell is going on here? No.
Well, we know what's going on.
You're copying my homework. But
no, you're copying my homework, but okay.
And this is another loss in the loss column for Randy Orton. So when are we going to see a change in Randy Orton? Is he going to finally go crazy and snap for all these losses?
Yeah, I mean, he might have to, because what would be the point of all of it?
Yeah, I want to see what's going to happen in the future. A lot of people saying that Drew McIntyre should be next in line to face Randy or to face the new undisputed champion, and they should definitely pull the trigger on that. Well, we'll see what's going to happen in the future with Drew McIntyre, but I'm definitely interested in what he's got going on as well. Logan Paul too. Logan Paul, Logan Paul is the perfect bad guy. You know, like every time he comes on my screen, I'm just like, ugh. But I am interested in seeing who's the next person in line to possibly get to punch him in the face.
Yeah, I mean, you can hit his dummy with a steel chair at some of these fan fests. So I mean, why not? I would prefer to do the real thing, but I don't know. It was fine.
Next up was the main event of the evening. Gunther defending the World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk. And man, what a match this was. This one went 30 minutes and 20 seconds, and I loved this match. This is my match of the evening. And I'm pretty much going to go with both nights. I think this is the match of the evening for both nights because goddamn, what a match.
Yeah, that was a wild one. And honestly, what I liked the most about it was they gave them enough time, because clearly they were not in a rush. They were taking their sweet ass time, but I think that's what helped it, because I feel like if they would have tried to speed it up anymore, it kind of would have gotten a little too hectic. But yeah, there was great action between both of them, great chemistry. They got their spots in. Poor Punk's chest is the hamburger meat probably right now. Blood. You got it all. I mean, you really got it all. Yeah. But I think the sad part about it is that I feel like most people are really only going to talk about the ending and then what happened afterward, because oh boy, that was wild.
It does suck that, like, I mean, it doesn't suck because the ending was great. I just thought, but for me as a wrestling fan, the entire match was just fantastic. And watching it, we were doing a live watch along on Twitch, and Mike brought up a great point, and he said everything that both men did throughout the match looked like a struggle. Every single thing, from every single chop, every single punch. And Gunther is so good at what he does. He could fit in any era of wrestling, and everything he does is so simplistic. You know, he has a body slam, the chops, a power bomb, and the drop kick and a diving splash off the top rope. That's basically his arsenal right there. And with that arsenal alone, he's able to make it the most compelling match. And I mean, for them to go 30 minutes and 20 seconds, it kind of felt like we were getting a glimpse of the old Gunther, the old Walter, you know, and it was nice to see us get a match like that. And shout out to CM Punk at his age to go that length with someone like Gunther, who is a hard hitter, and he was hitting CM Punk hard. This was I loved every single bit of this match. I loved it very much. I ended up giving this one 4 1/4 flames out of 5. What about you?
Damn, look at you go. I gave it 4 flames, so close enough. But yeah, it was great. But we need to talk about that ending. We need to talk about that ending, because we were all bamboozled.
Yes, we were.
We were all bamboozled. Well, okay, let me rephrase it. Most of us were bamboozled. There are probably some idiots out there that felt so vindicated because they knew he was faking it the whole time. Seth Rollins, obviously. It's just like, okay, yeah, sure you did, buddy. Like, shut the fuck up. But to have that kind of dedication to literally, since Saturday night's main event, be on crutches, have your knee taped up, have your own daughter thinking that you're actually hurt. Well, I mean, telling her that it's fake, but we have to pretend. It's just like, I don't think, I can't even remember the last time they've really done something like this. I feel like, I mean, to this degree anyway, because
I wonder if it changes things in the future, because now we're going to look at it, and anybody gets injured, we're going to be like,
Yeah, I think that's the one, like, slippery slope they got to be careful with now, because now anybody, even including the wrestling media, well, I'm sure the wrestling media had their egos bruised a little bit, because they were wrong because they were lied to, and it's just like, okay, well, shut up. It's just like that was for the
Yeah.
moment. Like, please get over yourselves. But yeah, that might be one of those now where you're like, did they actually get hurt, or are you guys just lying to us again? But I mean, I'm sure we'll deal with that if that ever happens again. But yeah, that was one of the few times where I was genuinely shocked and did not see that coming at all, because that was just a masterpiece. That was cinema. That was just
Yeah.
absolute cinema. Like, it was so fucking good.
Yeah, Seth Rollins cashes in his Money in the Bank contract and defeats CM Punk. CM Punk, World Heavyweight Champion, for all of about 5 minutes before losing the title to Seth Rollins, courtesy of a stomp. And now Seth Rollins' new group, known as The Vision, is firmly in control of taking over Monday Night Raw like they said they were going to.
Yeah,
This was kind of like the
yeah.
last piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Punk, we love Punk, but you kind of can't help but think that karma's a real bitch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he did this exact same thing. Well, not this exact thing, but he screwed McIntyre out of the title at WrestleMania
Yeah.
40, and then yeah,
This
what
is
goes around comes around.
this is one. I feel like this is one of those things that's just never gonna end. I think
No,
from with Drew and Punk, there was a definitive end with the Hell in a Cell match, and they got it out of the way. I don't think there's going to be an end to CM Punk and Seth Rollins and what they got
no.
going on. They're always going to be at each other's throats, trying to undercut the other and keep that feud going.
Yeah, and Rollins made good on his word. He said, "As long as I'm around, you're never going to be champion." And yeah, I think he made good on that promise.
Yeah, it was a. I felt bad for any CM Punk fan. I mean, I'm a CM
Oh,
Punk fan, and
yeah,
I was just like, oh man, you just felt it.
yeah,
It just felt, you just felt it. Like, I don't know
yeah,
what it was. Even during the celebration, when he put his arms up with the title, I was like, I don't like the feeling of this. And then all of a sudden,
yeah.
Seth Rollins' music hits, and you're just like,
Yeah,
yeah, because like I do a pretty good job of staying away from those internet rumors, and I know there was
yeah,
a lot of chatter online about Seth Rollins and this injury, but I bought into it. I was
yeah,
like, there's no way they're gonna do a fake injury angle and set up the precedent that, injuries can be faked and things like that, and
you know, guess what?
they actually did it.
Yeah, they full on went Kevin Nash on it, and they
Yeah.
fully. And I feel like I saw somebody actually use that GIF too, like earlier in the night, where they said if Punk wins, this is what Rollins is gonna do, and it was the thing of Kevin Nash getting out of the wheelchair, moving
Yeah.
the. I hope they're having a good time. I hope they had a very good time. I hope that tweet blew up for them, because boy, did that foretell a lot of things. Like,
It
it
sure
was
did.
insane.
It sure did. I mean, but again, the match itself, CM Punk Gunther, that's definitely going to go on one of my match of the year list, and probably going to be in heavy consideration for the WWE match of the year for me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a great fucking match. Great end to that first night.
Yep, that's right. There was only one night there. Now we have to go to the second night of SummerSlam. SummerSlam Night 2, Sunday, August 3rd. It was a great time. A lot of the big matches were on Night 2. A lot of the matches that people wanted to see were on Night 2. Starting off with the triple threat match for the Women's World Championship, where Naomi defended the title against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Now, we all know Rhea Ripley and Io Sky have great chemistry with each other. They can have banger matches on their own or in other three-way matches with other competitors. The story was whether or not Naomi could fit into this chemistry and make it work even better. Naomi's probably on the hottest run of her entire career as this
Oh
new
yes.
Proceed with Caution character. She is just killing it in every sense of the word, whether it's on the microphone or even in the ring. That's the thing I saw in this match, was that there was was a lot of shine for each individual person. A lot of, shine went for Naomi, Rhea, and Io individually. That made them show off why they're so great, and it added to the match. And really, the match wasn't even that long for a triple threat match. It was 16 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, it sure didn't feel like it.
Yeah, it really didn't, because they packed in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they did. I mean, first off, Naomi's entrance was really cool, getting her dad to like play her to the ring. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure she really enjoyed that one. But the match itself, it's just, you know what? Are we really surprised that these three had a fantastic match? Like, that was a really, really, really good opener for that night. And the ending is, it's that thing where, yeah, it's a roll up, whatever. She used the tights, yeah, she cheated, whatever. But I think that furthers several little plot points going through all three of them, really, because Naomi, at some point, hopefully, a challenger might be like, "Oh, you just constantly sneak away to win. You're not going to be able to do that against me." The usuals. Just try to threaten her with, "I'm going to make sure you don't get to escape this time," or at least just call her a coward at the very least, because she's had to pretty much escape with her title, which is what heels do. So she's doing her job well.
Mm.
But it also furthers the whole storyline of Rhea was this fucking close to finally exorcising those demons, finally beating Io Sky, and it was gone. And it was even more interesting on Raw when her and Io had that backstage segment where she's like, "Look, you go after Naomi, fine, I'm totally for it, because then I can beat you when you win that title from her." And then Io had to be a little shit, and she's like, "Yeah, well, I mean, you're never going to beat me, but okay." It's just, I thought it was a little weird at first for them to be relying so heavily on that plot point, even when Rhea was making her entrance. I think I even remember saying to Mom, I'm just like, this is a triple threat match. Why are we talking about it as if that's going to end up being the finish? And then, of course, it ends up being the finish. So I was really proven wrong, but it just felt kind of odd to zero in on that when it was a triple threat, instead of it being a one-on-one. But now I see why they did it, and I feel a little silly. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this takes them, because obviously Naomi's got Stephanie Vicaire at Clash in Paris, so good fucking luck with that one. That video that Vicaire had when she's like, "You just walk past to hell," I'm like, I would not want to mess with her at all.
Yeah,
so
she's a bad lady.
So Naomi, good fucking luck. And then obviously you're gonna have Io on your radar too, and then we have to figure out what the hell's going on with Rhea. Like, what are we doing with her? Because obviously they're not gonna let one of their biggest, if not their biggest women's star, just sit on the sidelines and not do anything. So they probably have some plans with her too, though. But no, that match was fantastic. I loved it. I was not surprised. It was so great considering the three women involved. So I gave this one 3 3/4 flames.
Nice. I gave it 3.5 flames. I think the one thing I am looking forward to, I hope, this is a hope of mine, that they can somehow make the story of Rhea Ripley not able to defeat Io Sky, make it a thing, and make it a thing without the titles. Make it its own little standalone feud, so that way we can have more women's stories on the shows and on the PLE cards. I think this would be a very interesting story on its own without a title being involved. Simply, Rhea Ripley can't beat Io Sky. Io Sky is blossoming into one of the best in the entire world, male or female. So I think that's an interesting story there. So that's my hope, is that they can graduate and figure out, oh, we actually have here a story that we could tell, and we don't have to rely on the crutch of a championship to tell this story. This is just for bragging rights. This is just for competitive edge, and I really like that direction that they can go with that.
Yeah, I completely agree, because I think we said that was the biggest problem with what felt like the never-ending feud between Rhea and Liv, was that feud never needed a title.
Right.
Did it add some stakes to it? Yes, absolutely. But that was already engaging and compelling to the point that it didn't need anything, but that just unfortunately was how it was, and the women's title scene kind of got locked up by two people for months at a time, which kind of proves your point of if you had these feuds outside of the title, you're not deadlocking that title into, okay, well, this is going to be a prolonged feud with the champion and the challenger. Nobody else is coming anywhere near challenging that title until that's over, which could be months, could be almost a whole year at that point. So yeah, give the women some more compelling stories outside of the titles, because if the men can do it, why can't the women?
For sure, for sure. Once again, you give this match 3 3/4 flames out of 5. I gave it 3.5 flames out of 5. Moving on, we have a 6-pack tables, ladders, and chairs match for the WWE Tag Team Championships, where the Wyatt Six defend the titles against Andrade and Rey Fenix, DIY, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Fraxium, Axiom, and Nathan Frazier, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits. I loved this TLC match. I thought it was the perfect amount of carnage. Everything looked great. I enjoyed all of the table spots. Shout out to Candice LeRae.
Oh my God.
Mad woman, you, because
how does she not break her leg? Like, genuinely.
The way she went through that ladder was concerning.
Yeah. There was never going to be a good way to fall into a ladder from that height, but to land on your leg first, I'm just like, oh, she just broke her fucking leg. Yeah. Oh my God, it was just, it was cringy. But no, this match was, I mean, they advertised it as, and boy, did it live up to that one, because I love these matches, but I feel like we always say when it comes to this type of stipulation with all the different people involved, it's almost really hard to concentrate on one specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I really think that was so much an issue in that match to begin with, because I don't think there was ever really going to like a you need to focus on this team specifically. It was everybody had their moment to shine. I mean, hell, there was that one spot where it was someone got put through a table, and then someone else got put through a table, and someone else got through a table, and then finally
yeah.
This is fucking insane. Like, this is insane. I don't know where to look. I don't want to get a headache, but this is, like, wild. But it didn't feel like too much, which is insane, because that's been, like, our biggest attraction with some of these matches, was I didn't know what to focus on, because it was just so chaotic and so fast-paced. I never gave you a moment to breathe. I feel like they did have some moments in this match where I feel like by default you needed to breathe a little bit, because if that would have just been full tilt from the get-go, never let off the gas, that would have been exhausting to watch.
Right.
But no, this one was fucking fantastic. I am also glad that the Wyatt Six pulled through, so I was safe to...
Yeah.
They'll hold on to that title for at least another couple weeks, but yeah, that was a fun match. I also gave it 3 3/4 flames, because it was just it was just a fun car wreck to watch on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Shout out to the Wyatt Six winning this 6-pack TLC match. A lot of fun. And the cool part about it was technically only supposed to be 12 competitors in the ring, but you add in the 5 from the Wyatt Six extra, and then you add in Candice LeRae, you had like 6 extra bodies in there.
And BFAB too.
And BFAB, I forgot about BFAB getting involved as well. It's like there's like 7 extra bodies there. You know, like that is just insane. It's insane. I ended up giving this one, let's see what I give this one. I gave this one 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5.
Still on pace. We're still doing it.
What'd you give this one again?
3 3/4.
There you go. We're like literally a quarter flame separates us.
That's the very sliver of difference with the brain cell at that point. It's just a quarter. That's it.
And next up, this match went a little long. This match was 25 minutes and 5 seconds long. It was a no disqualification, no count out, last chance match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, where if Becky Lynch wins, Lyra Valkyria can no longer challenge for the title for as long as Becky Lynch is the champion. All right, so this one, I thought was fantastic because it
Mhm.
was you, especially coming off the TLC match, you didn't think they were
Yeah.
going to go all out and pull out the weaponry and do the things that they did, but they did. It was pretty funny, the zip tie spot where Lyra's hands came out of the zip tie, and I'm like,
Yeah.
we saw it. Just let it go. But
Pause it and just be like, "Yep, there it is. We saw it."
yeah, but other than that, I thought it was great. I thought the weapon usage was great. Lyra Valkyria flying through the air and catching Becky Lynch with the leg drop through the table was just
Yeah.
insane. She came out of nowhere and did that. It was a really, really good match. I enjoyed this match very much. What about you?
I did too. And I'm also not surprised because if we've seen any of their matches before this, it shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody that they have fantastic chemistry and they had a great match
Yeah.
because every time they've wrestled each other, it's been a great, fantastic match. Like that's just their chemistry. You can put them on a Raw, you can put them on NXT, SmackDown, a WrestleMania, anything. You can put them anywhere and deliver every single time. And just the fact that they were able to just go all out with those weapons, which was, I got a little nervous at first, not gonna lie, because I'm like, oh, you guys are gonna put them after that match? Like, this crowd's gonna be gassed. And they were a little bit. They weren't into it as much as I think they should have been, but
Mhm.
after what they just witnessed, I think you kind of have to give them a little bit of a pass, because they almost saw several live murders on pay-per-view. But yeah, they were still into it. Plenty, like I said, I mean the zip ties thing aside, which we can pretend we didn't see that because it didn't happen. But yeah, the whacking the kendo stick, like tying Lyra up, putting her in that chair and stomping the shit out of her. I'm like, Jesus, you're gonna fucking kill her at this point. And then you get Bailey in there, and things got a little interesting. And Bailey, I mean, had some explaining to do because she fully cost Lyra the match and a chance to challenge for that title as long as Becky's had that belt around her waist. But Lyra didn't really want to hear it on Raw. She really wasn't having anything. And understandably, I would be pissed off too. These two just kind of let their shared hatred for Becky kind of get in the way of each other in a way in their success because they both screwed each other out of opportunities now. They're, I'd say even, but I don't think they want even. They want, the upper hand. But yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how this is going to go because Lyra clearly wants nothing to do with Becky or Bailey. And so I'm kind of wondering, is Bailey going to try and make it up to her? Is Bailey just going to kind of pretend like nothing happens and they kind of have to be partners of convenience at some point? Who knows? But I mean, we know what Bailey or what Becky's doing, and that promo battle she had with Nikki Bella on Raw was wild.
Yeah, yeah.
Who, especially that one line that was she really did go there. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what comes of Bailey and Lyra, especially from this match because yeah, there's a little bit of bad blood there for obvious reasons, but the match itself, again, just fucking fantastic. Again, I'm not surprised. It's Becky and Lyra, like, water's wet, sky's blue. These two put on a fucking good match. So I gave it also 3 3/4 flames, like last time.
Yep. I also gave it 3 3/4 flames. I gotta assume that if anything, Lyra is hoping that Bailey confronts Becky Lynch and challenges her for the title because again, Lyra can no longer challenge for the title since Becky Lynch is the champion. So now she has to be forced to root for other people to possibly take that title off of Becky so that way she can have a chance at it. Or maybe she moves on to bigger and better things. Maybe she moves on to the world championship. I would love to see a Lyra Valkyria and Naomi feud. I think that would be
Yeah, that'd be
great.
good.
That'd be great. So maybe
I
she
want to
moves
see it.
on to that. I think she would be I think Naomi can pull out some unhinged stuff to promo battle her and it would be great.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I don't know why I completely almost forgot to mention this, but Becky's new song, Becky's new theme.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough for me because this is like our style of music, so of
Right.
course it sounds great. But her fucking the Celtic Invasion was so fucking iconic though. It's just like I think it's gonna take a lot of getting used to, but it's the Wonder Years, it's
Yeah.
pop punk, so of course I'm gonna fucking enjoy it. I thought it was great, but I'm also just like, I feel like this should be this should be somebody else's theme song, not Becky's. She should have her old one back, but no,
I
I loved it too. I'm sure it'll grow on me.
Yeah, I think it fits this new era of Becky Lynch. To be honest
I
with
think
you,
so.
and it's nice to freshen things up with an actual band, and we don't have to worry about Def Rebel stinking up the joint. You know, with
With
their
AI.
with their AI theme songs. So I kind of dig it. I'm into the change. I'm into something new, something fresh.
Now we just need someone to do Spirit Box. Have
Yeah,
Rhea do Spirit Box. Wouldn't that be
that'd
something?
be
I would die.
something. That'd be something.
I would fucking die.
All right, so next up we have a steel cage match for the United States Championship where Solo Sikoa defended the title against his own family member Jacob Fatu inside of a steel cage. Now, for a steel cage match, this was surprisingly very, very short, clocking in at 12 minutes and 40 seconds. It was okay, but living up to
Yeah.
like the standard of the other matches that we saw beforehand, which had a lot of carnage and chaos in them, it didn't live up to that. It was just kind of pretty standard with Solo Sikoa sneaking out of the cage thanks to Tala Tonga smashing the door in Jacob Fatu's head and allowing Solo Sikoa to just slide on out.
Yeah, it's just it was okay. I mean, you could have taken the steel cage out of it and it would have been fine,
Right.
but for whatever reason, these two just don't really have a lot of chemistry with each other, and it's very obvious. And I feel like in their previous matches, it's also been very obvious. They just, I don't know, just again, it wasn't a terrible match. It also just wasn't great by any means. It was just average. It was serviceable. It did its job, but yeah, I wasn't really feeling this one. Not gonna lie, it was just it was all right.
It was all
And like you
right.
said, very tame.
Yeah.
Very tame for steel cage match. Like they could have done a lot more. I mean, yeah, Solo had or Jacob had the moonsault off the cage, so it's like, yeah, that was one thing, but it was also just like that's it. That's the only thing you remember from that match. That is literally it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was there, and that's about it. So I gave this one 3 1/4 flames because it wasn't terrible, but it was also just it was there.
Yeah, I also gave it 3 1/4 flames. Like you said, it was if you would have it felt like the cage itself was a non-factor. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it didn't really matter that the cage was there. After making it such a big deal on Friday Night SmackDown to end Friday Night SmackDown the way they did, you would have thought they would have made it a bigger deal. But they didn't, you know, and it just felt like the cage was just there to be there.
Yeah, it was literally just let me throw your face into it a couple times and let me fall out of the door, and that's pretty much it.
Yep, and I gave this one 3 1/4 flames, such as yourself. We're on the same page with that. 3 1/4 flames for this match out of 5. All right, so moving on, we have a match for the Intercontinental Championship where Dirty Dom is finally cleared for action and he has to defend the title against AJ Styles. These two had a little bit of a throwback feeling. Dominic had a throwback of his father's ring attire, and AJ Styles had a throwback of 2005 Eddie Guerrero gear inspired, coming out with a lowrider with his son. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought this match was okay. It wasn't like the greatest, but I think it was okay, and I enjoyed the little tidbits of like the Eddie Guerrero spot where they faked the chair shots. I thought that was good, and I thought the ending with the boot was very clever. I thought that was a very clever way to kind of wiggle your way out and be the bad guy and be the piece of crap that Dominic Mysterio is. It was okay, so I gave this one 3 1/2 flames out of 5. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, let's just call it what it was. This is pretty much just like an Eddie Guerrero tribute match, which is absolutely not a bad thing at all. It was cool. It was cool to see those little like throwback moments and like the gotcha little moments
Yeah.
that again, the boot, the chairs, it's like all the greatest hits. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was just that was pretty much the only thing I remember and enjoyed from it were the little Eddie Guerrero nods. So yeah, I also gave it 3 because it was I think I probably would have, if they wouldn't have done the Eddie Guerrero stuff, I probably would have rated it 3 1/4. But the Eddie stuff it was just too good, so I had to bump it up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, it was great. Dominic Mysterio, he's becoming a big deal. Now he's going up for the AAA Mega Championship in a fatal 4-way, and there's very much a big consideration to put the Mega Championship on him, so he could be a big deal in 2 separate companies. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, because it would be wild.
It's and the thing is, he's so young too. Like his prime
Yeah.
is still ahead of him, you know. So like he's only gonna get better and better. We might, 15, 20 years down the line, we might talk about Dominic Mysterio as one of the greats. You know, he's got that. He's got that in him. He's just that good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the fact that he's so young. It's just like, Jesus, this kid has probably decades more like experience and more time to show us what he can do. And I mean, if he wins that the AAA belt, then that might be a big fucking deal. So yeah, I can't complain. It's
Yes.
fun to see him finally get the recognition he deserves, even though he's a piece of crap.
Now, what do you rate this match out of 5 flames?
3.5.
I also gave it 3.5. I tell you, we're on the same page. We're not moving away from each other anytime soon. 3.5 flames.
Nope, water's wet.
Yeah, 3.5 flames out of 5 for Dominic Mysterio retaining the Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles. That takes us to the main event of the evening, where John Cena defended the undisputed WWE Championship against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And this one was interesting because like we didn't get to talk about it. Friday on SmackDown, they kind of flipped everything on its head, and now John Cena is no longer a bad guy. He's back to being the regular old John Cena. So I am still wondering what brought about this change to just be like, okay, I don't want to be this bad guy anymore.
Maybe because they realized he never should have been to begin with, because that entire storyline was a complete waste of fucking time. Let's just call it what it was. Let's just call it what it was, because it kind of pisses you off a little bit, because you wasted months of Cena's like farewell tour doing that shit. Like, it was so dumb, because clearly The Rock never came back. Travis Scott was a waste of space, and now everybody hates him in WWE too. So it's just like, what was the point of all of that? Just to, oh, well, we got a good idea, guys. Let's just do it. It's like, okay, well, guess what? It really wasn't that good of an idea. And funny enough, what happens when he goes back to being the Cena we all know and love in this match? It's literally one of them, like, easily a match of the year candidate. Like, not even fucking close. Like, best match of the entire weekend. And who would have thought? Who would have fucking thought that when it's just 2 wrestlers that are easily the, like, stars of their era going at it, what did you think was going to happen? Like, literally, what did you think was going to happen? It was just fucking great from start to finish. It had pretty much everything, and that was easily the best Cena had looked in a very long time. Definitely the best he's looked this entire year. So yeah, maybe next time just don't fuck up a good thing that you have, because it was just a waste of time.
And talk about Cody Rhodes kicking out of 8 different AAs. 8.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
One through an announce table, one from the top rope, and he's
one from the elevator, the elevator on the stage. That was cool though.
The Cody Vader. I mean, it was just like he was getting lit up. He was getting dog walk, and he still managed to kick out of all of that. And you know what was interesting is when they did the spot where he unbuckled the bottom turnbuckle of the ropes and he used that as a weapon, Cody Rhodes was not afraid to pull the trigger. You know, he was if
We'll
he
fuck him over at WrestleMania.
yeah, if he was wanted to use a weapon in this match, he could, because it was well within his right to use it, because it was a street fight. I think that's why he wanted it to be a street fight, so he could make no there couldn't be any sort of, oh well, he used a weapon to cheat this time. He pulled the trigger. No, he said I'll
justify it.
Yeah, he said no, I did it, but I did it well within the rules. So I gotta give him credit for that. I thought it was smart. I thought it was expertly done, and I thought the drama was there where that final pinfall happened, and you're like, that was great. You know, I loved what I saw.
And it was so good, and again, easily the match of the entire weekend, bar none. Could easily and should be in everyone's match of the year considerations. Just fucking fantastic shit. And then they decided to fucking ruin it.
All right, well, before we get into that, what'd you give the match overall out of 5 flames?
Oh, I gave it 4 1/4 flames.
All right,
out of 5.
I gave it 4 even flames out of 5. Again, fantastic match. Now, you alluded to it just a couple seconds ago. I didn't know what was gonna happen, but just watching the show, you just felt like something was going to happen. You just knew, like, okay, either the Rock's coming out, somebody's coming out, and somebody had joked, I forgot who it was, I think it was Mike that had joked in chat, he played like the Brock Lesnar entrance theme as a sound alert, and we're all laughing like, ha ha ha, could you imagine if that happens, ha ha ha, and then all of a sudden, boom, Brock Lesnar's music hits. Now, I know you have a lot of thoughts about it. I have a lot of thoughts about it as well. I want to let you get your thoughts off your chest. What'd you think about the return of Brock Lesnar?
Short answer, it shouldn't have fucking happened. But as that whole ending of that match is happening, I think what I thought was going to happen, I thought actually have Cody turn. The way they like built that, like the build up to it the previous night, where Triple H was like, oh, you thought tonight was shocking, you ain't seen nothing yet. So I'm like, okay, well, something has to happen tomorrow, or else this is just a complete waste of time and he's just talking out of his ass. So at first I thought Cody was turning, and then he starts to leave. So I'm like, okay, well, that's not happening. I'm like, all right, it's got to be. And so I'm sitting there, and I think I was kind of multitasking a little bit. I had my laptop up doing something, and I heard that fucking music, and my shoulders immediately dropped, and I just went back to my computer. Like, I didn't even pay attention after that, because the fact that, I mean, this really isn't a shock to anybody. The fact that WWE has no fucking shame when it comes to this kind of shit is just ridiculous. The fact that you have somebody in the middle of an active fucking lawsuit for human trafficking, sex trafficking, and you brought him back as the big moment for your show? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, I never was a fan of Lesnar to begin with. We've known this. I've talked about this before. Especially after all this shit had come out and is alleged that he would have done to Janelle Grant. Because you and I talked about it. Jesus, we spent most of the afternoon yesterday in the DMs. Because, like you had mentioned, that whole lawsuit is a tricky thing because, yes, he was alleged, or it was alleged that this what was going to happen to her with Lesnar. So yeah, it never happened. It never actually ended up happening. But my thing was, it wasn't so much the fact that, oh, well, it didn't happen. It was the fact that he clearly had no fucking problem with wanting to do that and use her as essentially just a bargaining chip and just a fucking object in his contract negotiations. So it's like, you shouldn't be surprised that I was not so entirely thrilled to see him back, and the fact that they literally still thought it was a great idea and worth the money and the headlines and everything to bring this piece of shit back is disgusting, and I found it very convenient that the night before Triple H is like, oh yeah, we're not doing post like show like press conferences anymore. And then you pull that shit. So it's like that's a little too fucking convenient, Paul. Grilled by the media that rightfully so should have.
Right.
Please. And when people, and I'm sure you caught this too, he was on the like the after show thing with Biggie and them, and you heard the people chanting "We want Cross."
Mm-hmm.
And what's the first thing he does? Oh, well, you wanted Brock and you got him. It's like, first off, not everybody wanted him. So let's not assume that a good majority of people actually wanted him, because we really didn't. Secondly, go back and watch that clip again. They weren't fucking saying we want Brock. Like, anybody with two functioning ears knew they were saying we want Cross. He was just trying everything in the fucking book to downplay the fact that you had this piece of shit back on your TV and on our TVs, and just the blissful ignorance of that crowd to just lose their fucking minds when his music hit. It was just like, at least for me, embarrassing. It's just like, you're celebrating a guy who doesn't deserve to be celebrated, because even the whole Janelle Grant thing aside, he's had plenty of shit like he's been called out for in the past. So it's not like this was the first offense with him.
Right.
He's a pest. He's a fucking creep. And it just gets really fucking old seeing these men just being absolute freaks, absolute just fucking psychopaths to women, and seeing them as less than, and seeing them as just objects of affection, or just like not even human beings, being constantly fucking celebrated by companies, and just all of this for the sake of money and headlines. So no, I was not thrilled that he was back, and I'm surprised I didn't end up just shutting the whole thing off, because it was just fucking worthless. It completely ruined that ending for me. Like, completely ruined the end of that show. And yeah, as you can tell, I'm not so happy about it. I'm really pissed off about it, and there's no need for it. Like, who really wants to fucking see Cena and Lesnar on his last hurrah? Like, come on. I don't think most people think of Cena's iconic feuds. Brock Lesnar comes to mind. Like, fuck off. And the fact that supposedly WWE's legal team cleared him of everything, it's like, fucking course they would. Did you really think they weren't going to? They were going to find every excuse in the book to clear him. So what the hell's going to happen when this whole Janelle Grant lawsuit happens, and what happens if Vince and him are found guilty? What are you going to fucking do then? How are you going to spin it then? Like, it's fucking disgusting. Like, I feel bad for any woman that's ever had to deal with that kind of shit, having to see that on TV and see people actively celebrate him. I feel bad for Janelle Grant, that's for damn sure, having to probably see that. Yeah, it just was not a great feeling. I fucking hated it. I couldn't fucking stand it. And that's just WWE for you. All they give a shit about is money and headline. And clearly, him coming back proved that.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so I guess my thoughts. Well, from a wrestling standpoint, I really could care less. I couldn't care less about Brock Lesnar. I've never been a big Brock Lesnar fan. I mean, he's big. He does big people stuff. Okay, cool. Like, you know, like I personally don't see the appeal of Brock Lesnar as other people do. We cannot deny the fact that, like you said, it was blissful ignorance. The people who attended the event live, that place, if it had a roof, that roof would have went off the joint. It was just that loud and that crazy in there once his music hits. But for me, I really don't care for Lesnar. Now, here's the thing. Not a lot of people are asking, because John Cena specifically requested to work with Brock. Not a lot of heat is on John Cena for this. Not saying that there should be. I'm just pointing out the fact that there's virtually zero heat on John Cena for requesting this match at all.
Which I find that kind of funny, because it's like one of two things possibly happen, and they both are possible. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Number one, Triple H said that to cover his own ass, so he didn't have to justify it, and he's like, well, I gotta use a scapegoat somehow. Oh yeah, Cena's right there, we'll just use him. But you would think any reasonable human being, number one, Cena's not stupid. You think he kind of knows what's going on. So even if, for whatever fucking reason, you would have wanted to work with him on your farewell tour, you think you'd look at the news headlines and go, well, as much as I maybe would like to, which is already a scummy thing enough as it is, probably not a good idea. So we'll just forget about that. Or if you still tried to go ahead with it and told Triple H, hey, this is what I'd like to do, you would have thought maybe he would have been like, yeah, but, in the middle of that legal suit, maybe that's not a good idea. So clearly, we just didn't fucking care, one way or the other. Yeah. And like I said, either Triple H is using him as a scapegoat, or Cena, for whatever stupid fucking reason, wanted to do this, and no one said it was a bad idea, because clearly in their minds it wasn't a bad idea. So I don't know. It's just
like they said, they had to clear it with legal first. So they cleared it with legal, and that just, like, for me, I'm not saying Brock Lesnar, I don't know if Brock Lesnar is innocent or guilty and whether or not he's a weirdo. Because the simple thing is, like, it's like this. This woman was used as a bargaining chip for contract negotiations, which is horrible in its own right, but those exchanges didn't happen. So from a legal standpoint, it's hard to stick them with anything because the act of wrongdoing never actually happened. It was just supposed upon. It's scummy, but I'm just speaking in the sense of the law. So that's the only way I could see WWE legal team saying, hey, whatever's going to happen to him is probably not going to stick, because at worst, what would happen is that Janelle Grant could probably sue Brock Lesnar. But again, if they don't have any evidence to stick to Brock Lesnar from this case right here, it's going to be pretty hard to sue Brock Lesnar because the wrongdoing has already been determined not to be in his hands. So it's a very tricky situation, and I don't know. I'm looking at it from a wrestling standpoint. John Cena has 4 months left on this retirement tour. There's no way we're going to get a consistent 4 months of Brock Lesnar on TV. He's not going to show up. So if we have to do this, just get it done, get it over with, and get it out of here. Because again, it's honestly, in 2 weeks, we're going to forget about this. We're going to be complaining about something else. That's just the way it works. That's the power that WWE holds. It's just that, none of this shit fucking matters. That's the craziest thing. It's like the billionaire corporation, it just nothing matters.
No, and that's corporate for you too. They have no fucking morals anyway, so it's just like, is it gonna make us money? Then we're gonna do it, whether it's morally correct or not, which that's its whole can of worms at that point. But it's just like, I just hate seeing shitty people get celebrated.
Totally, I agree.
It's just like, I think the thing that, like, I love these people that immediately are like, well, he didn't do anything. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. Well, I'm glad you're also in the courtroom and you know what's going on and actually know the whole rulings and stuff like that. Because guess what? Twitter user, whatever your fucking name is, if he does inevitably possibly get found guilty, it doesn't fucking matter if you thought he was guilty or not. When he possibly is found guilty in the court of law, your opinion means fuck all. Like, it doesn't fucking matter that, oh, well, he was just persecuted unjustly and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, guess what? You're not the judge making that ruling. So if he is found guilty, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, because I don't know. Even before all that bullshit happened, I still was in the same camp as you were, where it was like, I've never bought into Brock Lesnar. We've probably talked about it before on these episodes, where it's just like, who fucking cares if he's here or not? Because he's going to be here for 2 weeks and he's going to leave for 10 years again anyway. So, like, who fucking cares? He's big, he's strong, great. Half the other roster is too. It's just like, he's nothing special. He's really not. He's really nothing fucking special. And the fact that these people continuously make him seem like he is just mind-boggling to me, but what do I know?
Yeah. Like I said, I am not the biggest Brock Lesnar fan. I'm not a big Brock Lesnar fan at all. I could take without him. It doesn't matter. I just know he's not going to be around for much longer. Maybe the only reason he came back was because John Cena requested that he come back and they work together one last time. You know, and like I said, no heat on this is on John Cena, which is crazy because John Cena is known for his admiration for Vince McMahon. You know, so this is kind of right up the alley of John Cena, and there's just no heat on him whatsoever. So I think that's just kind of weird. But again, like I said,
Blissful ignorance.
yeah, it's just a blissful ignorance. Again, thankfully, it's not going to be a situation where we're not even going to see Brock Lesnar this Friday on SmackDown. We probably won't see him for a month or two, you know, and it'll be one thing. So, like, I guess just get it done and over with as soon as possible.
Yes, because anytime he's on TV is already too much. So,
well, there you have it. Once again, before we go, what was your grade for the main event, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes?
4.25 flames.
All right, and I gave it 4 flames, so we're right there neck and neck. You get to keep the predictions championship because this is some sort of collusion. This is like the 4th or 5th.
That's what we're calling it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're calling it now. Okay. All right.
This is like the 4th or 5th pay-per-view that you've been able to hold on to this thing, and it wasn't supposed to go down that way. This was supposed to be well in my grasp, but it's not. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is our breakdown, our recap, and our match ratings for SummerSlam 2025. All in all, a pretty decent show. I enjoyed myself. And what about you? Now, let me ask you, are you a fan of the two-night SummerSlam event?
Yes and no. Yes, as it gives more people more opportunities to be on the card. You can get more action in. You don't have to worry about, oh, there's 12 matches on this card and it's one night, so I'm going to be up until 3 a.m. because unfortunately with other pay-per-views, our biggest bitch with them is you put all these matches on the card and your main event's quarter after midnight. Yeah. So there's that. But yeah, it was good. I feel like it's also tough though with it being both nights because then it's like if people inevitably have plans on the weekend, you're going to be missing a good portion of it. I know I had to go back and watch, I think, the first 2 hours of night 1 because I was out to dinner with mom. So it was just kind of like, okay, you got to play catch up a little bit, but it was better than staying up till 3 a.m. So you know what? You gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I enjoy the 2-night events for the bigger shows. I enjoy the stadium atmosphere, the big fight feel to it. I think the only thing that sucks is that like normal everyday people get priced out of tickets. So but it doesn't seem to matter because they were able to put in almost 114,000 people in the stadium over the weekend. So they made a bunch of money.
Yeah, it's those prices never get any lower, do they? They just keep on going.
Why would they go lower? That's silly.
God forbid the actual wrestling fans watch it and not the influencers that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But hey, you do you, I guess.
Scathing from Shay Hickson, let me tell you.
I just on one today. What can I say?
I tell you. But like I said, there's our recap of SummerSlam 2025. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and listened to this podcast. If you gotten to this point, thank you very, very much. We appreciate your support. And now it's time to get into the particulars and plug in all the stuff that we need to plug in so we can get the heck out of here. Let me let you guys know that you can listen to this podcast on any platform you choose to listen to podcasts. All you have to do is search Ringside Rundown, hit the follow or subscribe button, whatever the platform asks of you, and you can find the podcast and never miss an episode. We drop an episode every day, week to week, not every day, every week. Every week we drop an episode. Imagine if we dropped an episode every day. Holy shit.
I'd be dead.
Every week we drop an episode for you guys. When there's no PLEs or pay-per-views to recap or talk about, we give you guys the floor and let you ask questions to get what we think about what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. We let you ask questions about what you think is going on. So it's a partnership between you, the listener, and us, the host. All right. You can find this podcast on Spotify, Apple, Audible, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, again, wherever you listen to podcasts. If you can't find it on your particular platform, just message us, let us know what platform you use, and we'll get you a link to that platform on the silver platter. But the caveat is you have to give us back the silver platter because it belongs to Shay's mom, and Shay's mom used to wrestle in all Japan, so she's really she's really nasty with it. She's been in the ring with some giants. She's not afraid to throw down, so you need to give us back that silver platter before we get into some serious trouble.
She is pissed also that Lesnar's back, so you might not want to get on her bad side. Just saying.
You see, all you have to do is mention the boogeyman Brock Lesnar, and you'll just bring out the rage.
Yeah, she might start throwing shit around, so let's not do that.
There you go. Damn, I lost my train of thought. Find us on social media. We're all across the board on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Ringside Rundown. Follow our short form content on TikTok, Ringside_Rundown. And if you don't have a podcast platform that you use to listen to podcasts, but you still want to check out the show, all episodes are on YouTube. Head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@RingsideRunPod to listen to full episodes of the podcast and get our short form content that we put out. And just to let you know, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 8 o'clock, I am live on Twitch watching wrestling, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision. I am watching it live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ringside Rundown. Come join me every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Shay, where can they get in touch with you?
You can find me on Twitter at @ShayRingside_, just like Eric's, except with my name instead.
There you go.
So I can hear all my wrestling yaps.
Just tweet her Brock Lesnar and let her go off.
Don't get me started.
Let her go off in the tweets, and it'll be a fun time.
For somebody, I'm sure it'd be fun. Maybe not so much me, but who knows?
All right, guys. Well, we're going to get the heck out of here. We thank you for listening to another episode of the Ringside Rundown podcast. We will be back next week with another episode of the show. Hopefully you enjoy it. Check it out. Tell your wrestling friends to check out the podcast. Tell your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, your sisters, brothers, cousins, aunts, nephews, sister. Let them know if they enjoy wrestling to check out the Ringside Rundown podcast. Until then, guys, I am Erik Vasquez for Shay Hickson. See you later.
See you later, guys.